asset import, and project setup. Hi everyone! In this tutorial, I'll walk you through how to start using the mobile web texture asset with your VR device. In my case, I'll be using an Oculus Quest 2. Let's start by importing the asset into your Unity project. Once imported, you'll see a main mobile web texture folder. This contains all the source files and a streaming assets folder, which includes the virtual keyboard's HTML source file. If you're planning to use Unity's new input system, make sure it's installed. You can do that by going to Window, Package Manager, then finding and installing the input system package if it's not already included. Since we're targeting the XR platform, we need to prepare our project to support it. Go to Edit, Project Settings, XR Plugin Management. If your project doesn't already include the XR plugin, click Install and wait for the process to complete. Next, under XR Plugin Management, choose one of the available providers. I'll be using OpenXR, which comes by default, but you can select a different one if you prefer. Because I'll be testing on an Oculus device, I also need to enable Meta Quest support and add the Oculus interaction profile. Now, let's move to the Player tab and adjust a few settings to make sure our project builds correctly for Android. Under Other Settings, Rendering, and check Auto Graphics API, then move OpenGL 3 to the top of the list. Keep in mind that Vulkan is supported, but it has more limitations compared to OpenGL. So for the best compatibility, it's recommended to have Unity use OpenGL 3 by default. Next, check the minimum API level under Identification. Avoid API level 22, as it has limited WebView rendering due to system-level restrictions that prevent WebView from rendering directly to GPU textures. If you're planning to support Vulkan only, make sure the minimum API level is set to 28 or higher. Also remember, for hardware-accelerated Vulkan rendering, the device must support HP import. Then, under Configuration Scripting Backend, select Delta CPP. The Mono backend is not supported by the OpenXR provider. In Target Architectures, select the one supported by your device. In my case, that's ARM64. Finally, set Active Input Handling to Input System Package New. This asset supports both the old and new input systems, but for this tutorial, we'll be using the new one. And that's it. Your project is now ready for XR. If you need more details on configuring Unity for XR, check the user manual included in the Assets root folder. Quick Functionality Test. To quickly test the asset's functionality, open one of the demo scenes located in the Scenes folder. For VR devices, choose either VR Example Object or VR Example UI. Both scenes work similarly. VR Example Object shows how to render a native web view directly onto a mesh render component. VR Example UI demonstrates how to render a native web view into a Unity image component. By default, both scenes are already configured to work with Unity's new input system. So, if your project was already using the new input system and OpenXR as the target XR API, before you imported the asset, everything should work out of the box. Simply open the scene you want to test. Verify that everything looks correct. Then go to File, Build Settings, click Add Open Scenes, and press Build and Run. This will build the project and launch it directly on your VR device so you can test the asset in action. VR Device Test Preview.
Tutorial on color resolution. Shift plus left click to add a new region. You can
Thanks for checking out the mobile web texture asset. I hope it helps you in your future projects. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me by email or visit the Assets forum page.